let's discuss the verbal part of GRE. So in the verbal part of GRE, we have three types of questions. Let's see them. The first type of question that comes are the reading comprehension. We all know what basically reading comprehension means. There will be a passage followed by a couple of questions which will be based on the passage itself. So what kind of questions come in the GRE? So there are three types of questions in reading comprehension that you will see in the GRE paper. The first type of question is single option correct. In single option, you will be given a question followed by 4 or 5 options, out of which only one will be correct. The second type will be multiple option questions, multi-choice. That means you will have more than one option correct. Let's say you have a question which is based on the passage followed by 4 or 5 sentences, out of which more than one will be correct. Now in this question you will be awarded marks only if all the answers that you select are correct. Let's say you have 3 answers which are correct and you select only 2, so you will not be awarded marks for that question. To get marks, you have to mark all the answers that are correct. So read the question carefully, go back to the passage if required, and then carefully mark the answers. The third type of question is a different type of question that comes only in the GRE paper. It is select the sentence. Now what is meant by select the sentence? In this type of question, you will have a question and then the question will prompt you to select a sentence from the passage itself which will answer this question. So what you have to, this type of question, let's say you will see that the author, you have to select a sentence which strengthens the argument or weakens the argument, or let's say gives an example pertaining to anything that is given in the passage. So you just have to move your cursor to the sentence which you think answers this particular question, and once you click on that sentence, that entire sentence will be highlighted. Now how to go about the reading comprehension questions? There are two kinds of approaches which students really follow. The first kind of approach is read the passage first and then read the questions. And the second kind of approach that students follow is to first read the questions and then come back to the passage and then find those answers. The easier way in GRE to go about is first read the passage carefully. Take some time, take 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes, read the passage. Understand the passage, understand what the author is trying to say, and only then move on to the questions. Because if you first move on to the questions, the problem will come, and there are some questions which not only pertain to one sentence or one paragraph but to the entire passage, like any assumption, conclusion, or what is the author trying to say, what is the gist. Because you will not find direct answers in GRE, or the questions will also not be direct. So the easier approach is first read the passage, understand the passage, and then move on to the questions. So the second type of question that you will see is known as text completion. Now what is meant by text completion questions? In this type of questions, you will be given one sentence or 2 sentences or a passage of 2 to 3 sentences, and you can have either 1 blank or 2 blank or 3 blank. And for every blank, you will have a consequent 2 or 3, let's say 4 options. And only one of the options given for that particular blank will be correct, and you have to choose the correct option. I'll take these examples in the subsequent videos. Now let's see the third type of question. Third type of question that you see in the verbal section of GRE is known as sentence equivalence. Now what is sentence equivalence questions? In sentence equivalence questions, you will have a sentence or 2 sentences which will be followed by 6 options, out of which 2 options will be correct. You have to see that both the options that you select should independently fit into the sentence and not change the meaning of the sentence. These 2 options may or may not be synonyms, because they are not testing your knowledge of synonyms, they are testing your knowledge of understanding of the passage and the sentences that have been given. So make sure that you do not pick up synonyms, you only pick up the 2 words that you think separately, independently fit into the passage.